Rolling.
Somebody said in the comments that we should start every one of these with me singing.
I don't think anyone said that.
There for real was a comment. You can make me look at it now. I'm going to waste time to
Spotify
look
or
at
YouTube?
I think it was a YouTube comment. It may have been Chris. We pointed Chris out on the last podcast, and Chris is definitely the king of comments. He comments a bunch of them.
Maybe you should start taking song requests.
Song requests?
Because we hear you sing all day, every day here at work.
I don't know where the comment is. It's in there. Check it out. But yeah, I can totally sing. Every work podcast, we can start with something. I was listening to DMX before we started with this. Is that what he does?
I don't know. Maybe not in that tone. Yeah.
By the way, speaking of music, you've been controlling the stereo with our lifts. And is that just like your workout playlist or something?
No, that's just a Drake playlist on Spotify.
It's the same songs every single time.
Occasionally.
Every single time.
Yeah.
I've got to memorize
it. Randomizes. It shuffles.
It shuffles them.
Yeah. Sometimes we get through the whole list. Sometimes we don't. But it just keeps playing.
You like that list?
It's decent.
It's decent.
We can do your list of...
You don't want my list.
Disney theme songs next
Moana
time.
Is my jam, bro.
Not mine.
Not yours?
No.
What's that song that Moana sings?
I don't know.
I forget.
It's
a good one.
Somebody will let us know in the comments.
It's a good one. All right, so last week was kind of a bit of a random. We'll probably have a little bit of a random today, but we're going to bring it home. But first, let's talk about our weekends. How was your weekend, man?
Awesome. I took advantage of the 77 degrees and awesome blue skies that we had on Saturday. And
it was a beautiful weekend.
Yeah, it was. Went to Whitaker Point hiking, and it was packed. I think everybody and their entire family and dogs and grandparents had the same idea to go hike Whitaker Point. And it was crazy to find parking. If you've ever been, you've been there before.
I've been there once. And I told you not to go the route that I went because it's gnarly.
It was crazy gnarly. My car had no right being on that road.
And I guess that's the only way to get
gravel, minimal maintained, super steep. Like 4-wheel drives were having issues going up these crazy inclines. And there were areas where it would like switch back and it'd be washout and there'd be not even enough room for a vehicle and a half. And because it was so busy and the weather was so awesome, there's traffic going up the hill and down the hill. And I was looking at Google and it said, you turn on this gravel road and it's 6 miles, but Google had me still 38 minutes away to go 6 miles. I'm like, something's got to be screwy here. Sometimes it is. I just kept going. I started going up this crazy steep gravel, like washboard. Like my car was having a tough time. And I'm thinking, this cannot be the right way. Well, sure as heck, there's another vehicle coming down and then another vehicle coming down. And I'm like, okay, well, this is promising. Maybe there's stuff going on up there. Sure enough, it took me, there were times where I had to stop. I had to let vehicles go by. There were times where I was going 2 miles an hour because the road condition was terrible. Your truck would have been all right, but anyways.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But the hike was amazing. It's a couple miles in. You go to this huge overlook, this rock point that looks out over all these crazy bluffs and hills and valleys, and the leaves were perfect.
That view from Whitaker's Point, that is like the quintessential Northwest Arkansas view that they plaster on like all of the calendars, all of the books. Like when people think of Northwest Arkansas, they think of that image.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of the most scenic images in Arkansas.
If you Google it, that's what you get is that profile shot of the point where you're way out over the edge and it's steep fall off the edge. And there was probably 30, 40 people out on that point at one time. And
you got to wonder if that rock's ever going to be like, I don't want to hold these many people.
I don't know. You walk over to the edge. I walked over to the edge. I took some videos and some content and stuff, and I held my phone out over the edge and pulled it back in, and then I watched it, and I almost got dizzy just watching it. It's pretty cool. But
we need to get the drone, Chip. We need to go out there.
That'd be cool.
And then we'll get a drone shot from that point where we're like, you and I be sitting on that point on the edge with our shirts off, doing a front double bicep with a brick in our hands.
We could.
With a drone.
We could.
That right there would go viral.
That would be sweet. Yeah. So, yeah, my weekend was good. Then Sunday just was quite a bit colder. Got a whole bunch of errands run, laundry, adult stuff.
adult
But
stuff.
you went to deer camp.
I went to deer camp. It was not quite the camp I had anticipated. So it was going to be a light camp anyways. I have so much stuff to do here. So I was like, man, I really shouldn't even go. But there's like a rule down there where there has to be a Sikes down there because it's the Sikes farm. Mm-hmm. And I was going to be the only Sikes. So I had a couple friends that were going to go, and they obviously needed me to be there so they could have access to it. So I'm okay, I'll go. Plus, I need to fill the freezer anyways. So I was like, okay, let me just go get a bunch of meat, and it'll make the trip worth it. We'll cut down the grocery bill. So I take off from work here. I actually left decently early for me by my standards. I mean, it was early afternoon. And I get there at like 7 o'clock or something like that. It's just gotten dark. I drive 4 hours down there, not a hiccup, no issues whatsoever. Open the gate to the farm, driving on the dirt road. So open the gate, take my seatbelt off to do so, driving down the dirt road to the farm, like a quarter of a mile away. Got the country music going. I'm not drunk. I'm not driving fast. I'm not driving a place where a truck shouldn't go that is going to get stuck, like following all the rules. And it's super foggy, and it's dark now, so I can't really see the road well, but I could tell that I'm on the gravel road. So I'm driving, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. My truck jumps like 3 feet up in the air. It like crashes down. All the stuff that's in all my cup holders is flying everywhere. I'm pretty sure my head hits the ceiling of the cab, and my neck gets bent sideways. And then all of a sudden it stops, and I'm like, what in the world just happened? I'm getting all these alerts on my dash saying check ECS system or ESC, whatever it stands for. And I'm like, man, that's not good. So I get out. I'm looking underneath the truck. Everything looks to be in fine working order. So I'm okay. Let me drive a little bit. So I start driving, and I hear something rubbing. Man, that's never a good sign. And I get down and look again. I'm not really seeing anything. And then I start driving a little bit more. And now I realize I have to hold my steering wheel upside down in order for it to go straight. So I get to the cabin.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's definitely not good. So I get to the cabin. I take the tire off. I'm looking at everything, looking at all the front suspension. I'm pretty sure I shot the ball joints, probably bent upper, maybe lower control arms, and potentially jumped the spines in my steering gearbox. So that was not great. So I was just frustrated from the moment I got to deer camp. I was distracted. I wasn't thinking about hunting. Not what I had hoped for by any means. And then my uncle comes. He wasn't even planning on coming, but he comes because he's got the only trailer big enough to haul my truck. It just barely fits. We get that loaded up, and then I drive it back. Yesterday, it's a 5-hour drive with a 15,000 or 14,000 pound load on a standard truck that I'm not familiar with through the mountains. So yeah, definitely not quite what I had hoped for.
And did you get a deer?
No deer. So all that.
It would have been even a little bit better had you gotten
it for sure would have.
A nice buck or something.
And I could have killed a deer. So when I went out Saturday morning, because I couldn't drive anyway, so I might as well go hunt. So I saw a doe in the field, but it was going towards where I knew Chris's buddy Tom and his little, he's got a 7-year-old. Chris's girlfriend, fiance, her son is Ivan. He's 7 years old. So Chris brought him down there. And I'm like, man, I really want him to kill that doe. So I didn't shoot her, but she was broadside to me, probably about 150 yards away. So she would have been an easy shot, but I didn't shoot, hoping that she would walk over to him. And then I get to my spot, and I see like 4 hogs. I could have shot them. And then as I was walking back to the cabin, I jumped up a few deer, and then I saw a spike that would have been an easy shot, but he's not a legal deer. So not a productive hunt by any means, and an expensive trip when we find out how much all this is going to get cost to fix. But sometimes it goes that way.
Sometimes you just need a Honda Ridgeline.
Sometimes you do not need a Honda Ridgeline. That probably would have been totaled.
Yeah.
Probably would have been totaled.
Airbags.
I'm surprised the airbags didn't go off, man. Cause
that's a subtle.
It jarred the hell out of me. So I'm amazed the airbags didn't go off, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
So you had an interesting weekend.
Yep.
And it's a little cooler here today.
It's chilly,
We're in
man.
like the 40s.
Yeah, frost is out there.
Blast or something.
But you said it's only like a couple days.
Yeah, we're supposed to hit 70s again this week in a couple days. So I'm excited for that.
You're doing a 3-day fast?
I'm doing a 3-day fast. Just I usually like to do 2 or 3 a year and just fast water, electrolytes. In the past, when I've done several day, multi-day fasting. I've hit some pretty sweet lifts. I feel like it's kind of like an immune gut reset. Your cognition gets dialed in. The first day is kind of like blah, and then day 2, day 3, and then if you go further, I feel good. So I started it last night after dinner. I'm just going to go until Wednesday night.
I'm curious to see how that impacts your lifting performance with this new split, if at all.
I don't think it will.
Probably not. I mean, 3 days is not that long, and you're eating, you've got enough body fat on your frame now. You wouldn't want to do that immediately post-show, but you've got enough body fat now where, like, you've got a reservoir to tap into.
Yep.
So I haven't done a bona fide fast in a while, but I did that 48-hour water fast or 40-hour water fast earlier this year, I think it was this year. And then I did that FGF 21 sugar diet mimicking fast thing for a while. That was like a week or two. So I don't feel like I need like an extended fast just yet.
Yeah.
So I'll just keep coasting at this intake for a while.
Sweet. I did, last time I did a multi-day fast was before we started prep. So it's been a while.
It's been
a while. A couple of years.
It is good. I feel like and people always ask me this too, like if you're in a caloric deficit, I don't recommend fasting at all, because being in a deficit in and of itself is inherently mimicking many of the same things of being in a fast. Now, if you're in a caloric surplus and you're taxing your digestive tract by way of just eating at a surplus, I think there's total benefit in having, a legitimate extended fast on a quarterly or at least annually basis. So that's something that I'll probably do now that I am officially into a not significant, but a reasonable surplus that's consistent, I guess.
Yeah. And I had some stuff, I didn't really have anything meal prepped, and I was thinking, oh yeah, this would be perfect. I can eat up whatever I have in my fridge, ready to rock and roll, stuff that was getting kind of expired. So I ate up a bunch of stuff. And then on Wednesday, I'll have a little light dinner. Thursday, we're gonna get some brisket, I think, on Thursday.
Yeah, we're doing a team day with the crew. Not really a team day. They made it. We had like this end of shift checklist, EOS checklist that just was all the things that they got to make sure they do before they lock up and leave the building. And I told them if they made it to 100 days without any incidents, I'd take them all out to eat. So they made it 100 days, and I'm taking them all out to Bo's Barbecue.
Yeah,
Bo's
I'm excited.
Bayou Barbecue.
Ralph says it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I've been there once.
Yeah, some of the best stuff around. So
yeah,
I'm excited for that. Also this weekend, this is kind of funny. As I was cleaning out my refrigerator, I take all the food out, wipe everything down, clean it all up, put it all back in. Before I put everything back in, I put in beef, butter, bacon, eggs, heavy cream, 1, 2, 3, the 5 things or whatever. And I was going to record a little reel that just said, the only 5 things you need in your fridge as a ketogenic bodybuilder are this, 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 and this. And I thought, I'm going to try to make this totally random in a weird way, because we see like reels like that and they kind of get social engagement and everything. So I filled the door of my refrigerator with rolls of toilet paper. Mm-hmm. And as I started the video, I swung the door open so you could just catch a glimpse of the door full of rolls of toilet paper. But then I panned right into what I had in there, and I just said, here's what you need, and I shut the door. And it was like a 5-second clip. It worked. There's so many comments and people chiming in like, whoa, do you have toilet paper in your fridge? I got so many DMs.
What are you responding back with? Oh yeah, like I put that in my soup or something.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, we all use toilet paper, right? Don't you? Like this, just kind of as a comedic thing. And I just wanted to test the waters and see. It's pretty funny.
Speaking of toilet paper, there's like this subset of the carnivore community that is on team no wipe. Have you seen that? Have you heard that?
I have not.
Yeah, so there is, I don't want to butcher this. So like if somebody's listening to this and knows the details, by all means let me know.
No wipe.
Yeah, so basically they are under the assumption that if you're eating the proper human diet, there is going to be no issues with your digestion, and you will have a healthy bowel movement with nothing clinging, and therefore removing the need to wipe with toilet paper. Yeah. And I mean, I'll get lucky sometimes and have a perfect poop, where there's no wipe,
Yeah.
But like, I don't default to never wiping my butt. That's like a thing that certain people in the carnivore subset are doing.
Okay.
Have you not heard that?
No.
Kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. That's kind of right up there with that. I don't know. I don't think this is carnivore. There's another subset where people are like if you drink the first urination of the day, it's supposed to be really good for your health or
Okay,
put
now we're
it
just
on your
getting too
skin.
crazy.
Now, these are like legitimate things. Like this is definitely like biohacking to the next level. This is not something I'm an advocate for.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm probably not going to try that one.
Yeah, me neither. But like people are going to the nth degree to like do all this stuff, and I see this day in, day out. But what's weird to me is like, okay, let me get this straight. You're gonna avoid wiping your butt, and you're gonna make a conscious effort to drink your first urination of the day, but you're not going to go to the gym and lift some weights.
Yeah.
You're not going to ensure that you're getting a good night's sleep. You're not going to ensure that you're not eating just junk. Like people are majoring in the minors big time.
Absolutely. That's crazy. I want to know who decided to try that for the first time and how it went.
I don't know. There's like this weird phenomenon right now that you actually pointed out to me about people totally jumping ship from carnivore. There's been a couple prominent names that are, making some waves, so to speak.
I've seen some really good, well-written, compelling posts on people who used to be or kind of still dabble in full-blown carnivore or keto, and they're starting to add in some carbs. And I can respect that. I don't think it's respectable if they completely flip directions and then badmouth keto, carnivore, or whatever is working for so many people. I mean, I get it that maybe you have started to add some foods back in and you're still staying away from ultra processed, refined sugars, all the garbage. You're not eating like candy and cake and donuts. That's cool. Do whatever works for you, but I don't think bad mouthing the other side works for anybody ever.
Yeah. And I've said it multiple times on my podcast, like I don't ever want to be dogmatic with nutrition.
Right. Cause
I used to do all this stuff. I used to do the carbohydrates. I used to eat 6-7 meals a day. I used to freaking down pixie sticks immediately post-workout, trying to intentionally spike my insulin and become more anabolic. Like I did all these things. And then I just started doing keto, I guess 11 years now, because that worked the best. I didn't see any detriment to my performance and everything improved. But what I've noticed now, because I actually I went and listened to some podcasts from some of these advocates that are recommending, long-term carnivore or keto is not healthy. And it seems as though the stance they're taking is that if you, basically all of the issues come from, stressors or, metabolic dysfunction more so than the elimination of carbohydrates in general. And you should be able to consume carbohydrates to an extent and that not poorly reflecting your blood sugar and insulin levels. And that they're saying that there are people that have been following a strict carnivore diet or keto diet for an extended period of time, and they're seeing this constant elevation in their A1C and blood glucose levels. Like up to 200 milligrams per deciliter upon waking.
Oh, yeah, that's elevated.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm like, man, I don't know what they're doing, but I've been strict keto now for, 11 years. And when I wake up and test my blood sugar, it's like 89, so it's not chronically elevated. My insulin levels are all in check. I get blood work done every 3 to 6 months, and all my numbers in labs are perfect. So that's not to say that there may be some people that are having elevated issues with a ketogenic carnivore diet, but I don't necessarily think you can point towards keto or carnivore being the reason for those issues.
True. I was going to say they may have some other outside influential things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's interesting to see people just, switch gears on a dime, man. And since I've been in the space and putting out content for so long, the same thing happened with keto. Keto reached its heyday, I believe, in 2019, and then kind of fell off, the limelight from that point on, and then carnivore picked up prominence. But when keto was hot, there were all these people coming and flocking to keto and putting out content with keto, writing books about keto. Oh, it's the only way to go. And then when carnivore, built up a bunch of steam, they all switched to carnivore, and they were putting out this content around carnivore and saying carnivore is the saving grace. It's not keto, it's all carnivore. And now that, there's been some traction and, adding carbs back in, they're all jumping ship to that now. And it's just interesting to see these trends come and go, these hypes rise and fall, and these people just follow the influence. And for me, it's like, look, I've done all those diets. I've played around with it all. I was, beneficial. I was, I guess, thankful enough to have found keto early on, and then I just stuck with it ever since. And I'm not going to chase the hype. And if that means I don't have the viral content or the massive following, that's fine, because the people that look to me for guidance, they're going to be able to expect and appreciate consistent guidance. And I've learned a ton over the years, and I've tweaked and manipulated things, and I've honed in on my methods. But at the end of the day, the message has always been the same.
Right.
And there's no need to reinvent the wheel or chase the hype if what you're doing is optimal,
Agreed. Yep. Same.
So yeah, it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating. But again, it kind of goes back to like, you can't be egotistical. You can't be inundated on these superficial performance metrics. Like, you just got to look at the truth and what is sustainable and what is reality. And at the end of the day, like, when you distill my messaging and your messaging down to its core, or any of these people that I'm bringing on the podcast, it's like, eat real food, move your body. Like, that's what it all boils down to.
Yeah.
And when you
Avoid
look
the
at
crap.
Yeah, and when you look at what a well-formulated ketogenic diet is, it's real food. And this is coming from somebody that makes the keto brick. Like, we make the keto brick as real as humanly possible, and it can bridge that gap from a convenience standpoint. But I've always advocated real food as the foundation. And
Absolutely.
people that are just jumping from one thing to the next, chasing the hype, it's like, that's not what's going to move the needle the most,
Agreed. Well said.
So there's that. What else you want to talk about, man?
What are the guys up to today? They're making some bricks.
Today's our first day back in production from taking that 2-week hiatus to just get organized and dialed in and fresh, clean slate. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to have everything revamped and rocking today.
Yep. Oh, Hack Your Health is this weekend.
Yes, Hack Your Health is this weekend.
That came up quick.
It did.
Kind of just snuck up.
So we're going to fly out on Friday, come back on Sunday. It's a pretty quick trip. That'll be good. It'll be good to see everybody.
And you're on a panel, right?
Yeah, I'm on the food addiction panel,
okay,
which is Saturday. I think it's early afternoon, I believe.
I forget.
So I'll be speaking on that. I enjoy the food addiction panel, but I kind of ruffle a lot of feathers.
I think it's probably one of the biggest draws of all the little panel discussions. I think last year, and that room was completely packed,
it was
standing
like
room only.
only.
Yeah, it was just crazy, and a lot of engagement from the audience.
Yeah. And I mean, it's obvious that people struggle with food addiction, but a lot of speakers on that panel, like this was definitely the case last year, where they kind of just gravitated towards pointing the finger at the man, so to speak, like the food industry, the hyper, palatable processed food industry, big pharma, big food. It's like big insurance. And those are all very true. But at the end of the day, you're the one putting the fork in your mouth. And I kind of take this approach of like just extreme ownership. And there are right and wrong ways to go about it. But I feel like when you take the blame, it's incredibly empowering. And then you have the ability to move forward beyond that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've struggled with disordered eating tendencies. A lot of people have. But I feel like with anything in life, if you're not where you want to be, rather than pointing the finger at somebody or something else, it's scary to point it back at yourself and take ownership because you have that weight to carry now. But it's liberating because then if you had the power to make it where it is, you have the power to change it.
Absolutely.
So I think that's the way to go.
Look in the mirror sometimes, take ownership.
I'm hopeful that I can kind of introduce this pyramid philosophy on the food addiction panel. Like if there's a nice segue for me to kind of roll into that.
Oh, sure.
I'm going to try and leverage it.
I mean, that would be the right context.
Yeah. So hopefully, I don't think we've even talked about that.
I was just going to say, I don't think these guys have heard anything about that. That's kind of the up and coming.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that on the next. So if we do Hack Your Health this weekend, depending on how I'm able to deliver that, if I'm able to, and see how it's received, we can dive into that on the next work episode the following Monday.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll do a little recap on Hack Your Health and travel. Speaking of travel, hopefully the airports aren't still wonky.
Well, the shutdown's over now, right?
Yeah,
Supposedly?
but they already put into play that 10% reduction in flights in and out of 40 major U.S. airports. And it kind of ripples out because the airlines and flights that are going in and out of those airports to other airports are now being affected.
Yeah.
So I just checked. Doesn't look like anything's affected as of today, but I don't know how long that's going to draw out until everything kind of regains momentum. So we'll see.
Hopefully it's smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth sailing.
Because we're not driving your truck down or over or whatever. That's for sure.
We're going to fly for sure. Speaking of sailing, my folks are setting sail like tomorrow, I think, for the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah. They're going to make a pretty awesome.
They drove to Alabama yesterday. Yeah. And now the mast is on the boat. They're about to set sail like any day now, tomorrow, I think. So that'll be cool.
That's awesome. And your mom is taking like hundreds of bricks, isn't she?
Yeah, she got like 6 months worth of bricks.
Yeah.
So she's gonna eat that, and then whatever fish they catch, you know. So she'll be eating good.
Fish and bricks.
But that'll be good. I'm excited for them. It's pretty cool that they're doing that at their age. I mean, they're 64, and many people that are 64 are retired, hanging up the hat and just kicking back and watching TV all day long.
Absolutely.
They're out there getting with it, doing things outside their comfort zone.
Living life.
So kudos to them. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about. What was it?
Carnivore month is coming up.
Yeah, we got some plans for that in January.
I'm going to probably do meat and bricks.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing too.
Yeah.
Meat and bricks.
Yeah, we should do a little social media.
We're going to be doing, I kind of post this on my 7 Set Sunday newsletter as well. And for any of those that do not subscribe to that one, definitely do so. But we're going to be doing these reels, like these little skits with the Keto Brick Instagram. And we need ideas. We've got a bunch of ideas, but we need more ideas. So anybody that sends us an idea, if we use it, then we'll hook you up with some free bricks. But that's kind of what we, like the last one was that truck one that we did. I just think they're funny.
They're funny.
They're funny.
Yeah.
So
they're light, humorous.
Yeah.
So I guess in a nutshell, we're looking for ideas for random, funny.
Yeah. Use cases of the bricks. So like we need ideas for just funny use cases of the bricks that are not really practical. I mean, they could be practical, but just interesting ways to use the brick beyond just eating the brick, obviously. So
we got a lot of funny ones coming.
Yeah, it's going to be
it's
good.
Gonna be fun.
We're going to film one after we do the work podcast.
So Keto Brick Instagram.
Keto Brick Instagram. In other news, man, what was it I was going to talk about?
You're going to remember as soon as we turn the mics off.
I will. I don't recall. But we're going to train at MI40 with Danny Vega.
I'm excited.
Saturday, so that'll be good.
And Jay Shane.
Yep, Jay Shane will be there. That'll be lovely. Man, I can't stand that I forgot what it was. What else do you want to talk about? We got to fill this full. How long are we in, Chip?
27 minutes.
20.
It's pretty light, man. We got to think of something fancy to talk about. What book are you reading right now?
Nothing. Actually, I've got one. Lies I Taught in Medical School.
From Ken Berry?
I don't remember if that's Ken Berry. Lies Your Doctor Tells You. Lies
My Doctor Told Me is his first book.
That's Ken Berry. I don't know if the second one is him. Is that his too? I've got that one that's hanging on my nightstand ready to get cracked open.
I don't know. There's another one with a similar title. I don't know if that's by him or somebody else.
Let me Google it real quick.
I went to his place not too long ago, and he showed me his new setup because he's doing rotational grazing and everything with his sheep. He's got a pretty slick homestead operation going down.
Yeah, I think I've seen some of it on.
He's got his own separate Instagram for his homesteading, which is pretty cool because he's doing it all the right way, you know.
Yeah, he's the epitome of the good stuff.
Yeah.
No, this is Lies I Taught in Medical School. Robert Lufkin, MD. Yep, that's the one I've got.
Nice. You haven't started yet, though?
Haven't started that one. Nope.
I need to get on my audio version of the book. I need to do that.
Oh, of your book?
For show.
Yeah. You're going to start recording that?
But I was thinking, have you ever listened to David Goggins' book?
Not listened to it, no.
So he did something cool with his audio version. He had somebody else read the book, but then like at each page break or each relevant chapter, they had like a podcast format where David Goggins would reflect on what the part of the book was and then just like flesh that out in greater detail.
Okay.
I thought it might be kind of cool to do something like that with my book, but I don't know. We'll have to just see if that's in the cards or not. It'd be kind of cool though.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays I think you could probably have AI just rip out an audible version.
I don't want it to be AI. I want it to be me.
Yeah.
AI is getting trippy though.
What if people don't want to hear your voice that much?
Well, somebody did say on the comments of one of the podcasts that I had a raspy or nasally voice. Yeah. Hey man, don't listen to this podcast if you don't like the sound of my southern drawl, bro.
Wait till you hear singing.
Yeah, wait till you hear my singing. Yeah, I can't really affect my voice. Speaking of voice, both my kiddos had like some congestion, so they're all nasally right now.
It's kind of that time of the year where the temp's changing. There's a little allergy action happening.
Mm-hmm. But I don't get sick.
I've got 2 air purifiers in my place. I got a big one in my main living space, kitchen, living room.
Is your air dry though? Or do you need to use a humidifier?
I had a little bit lately just because I was waking up with like really dry, like I got a couple bloody noses randomly.
Yeah.
And that's super uncommon. I haven't had one of those since I was a kid. So I started using one and it's been fine. So I think the air in there is a little bit dry. But I filter, it's purification and filtration, and it's got a ultra HEPA filter in there and all kinds of stuff. So
one thing that because I run pretty much every other day, and it's hard to run when it's cold like this because you just don't feel like you're getting enough oxygen. But one thing I made it a point to do since I started running is to only breathe nasally. Mm-hmm. And when it's cold, it's good because like if you're breathing through your nose, like your body warms it up before it gets to your lungs. And obviously your throat's not going to be as dry as a result of that. But it's hard to just breathe exclusively through your nose. But I feel like doing so has significantly improved my ability to breathe correctly.
Yeah, nasal breathing is a way to go.
Yeah. I need to get back into the mouth taping. I ran out of tape.
I was just going to say, do you ever mouth tape at night?
I do when I have tape, so I need to get some more of that. And then a few people use those nasal strips. Those are getting super popular.
Yeah.
But I don't have a deviated septum or anything. So
like the magnetic ones that pop you open a little bit?
Those are interesting looking ads because like you'll be looking up somebody's nose and they'll put that thing in there and then it just flares their nostrils. So I'm like, man, I'm just looking up somebody's nose right now,
And then once you see the ad, then your feed is full of those ads.
Yeah. It is weird how that works, man. Crystal wants to get another couch because we have a fabric couch and Diesel's always getting his hair and drool and stuff on it. So she wants like a leather couch.
Okay.
And I have not looked up couches on my phone at all. But she was talking to me about a couch, and now I've just been inundated with ads for couches. Oh, yeah. So I don't know how that works. Like, I don't know if there's like a setting on your phone we have to turn off, listening or whatever it does. But it's kind of scary, man.
It is scary.
They like know what you're thinking because it's listening to you. Mm-hmm. Sound like a freaking conspiracy theorist right now.
Yep. I have an Alexa. Well, I have several Alexas, kind of, a kitchen, bedroom, all over the place. And I'm always wondering if she's listening.
She's listening
to things I'm doing, saying, who I'm talking to, if something's on TV,
It's a interesting time we live in right now. Mm-hmm. It will be weird with like all these deep fakes and everything with AI now as well. Like your phone will be able to serve you content around your interest because it's listening to you. You don't have to search it. And they'll be able to do so with AI generated images and videos that are
look real.
Look real. Yeah, AI is going to be a weird thing, man. I mean, I think it's going to be a tool for sure, but it's like any tool. It's like you've got to still have some rooted foundational stability or else you're just going to falter.
It's going to definitely get into the wrong hands at some point, used for negative methods and get leveraged in good and bad.
Chip's going to play around with the AI. Did you see that image I made with that AI of Greg? That's pretty legit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I took a picture of Greg and me at the competition with him all medaled up with the trophies and everything. And then I circled his body and I said, all right, make him wear a red bikini. And it looked pretty legit. So I'll use that for blackmail. I mean, people be able to blackmail people now.
Oh, yeah. You want to start that? Okay. All right.
No, I better not. What I tried to do is I tried to circle my arm. Of course, I was wearing a suit. But I was like, make my tricep 3 times bigger than Greg. And it just didn't work. So I'm like, what's the next best thing? I'm like,
because it knows when there's lies, man.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Speaking of triceps and just lifting in general, we're going to do a structured deload with our current new training split. So every 8
when are we
weeks,
doing that?
I think timing-wise, it'll line up pretty well with when I go to Pennsylvania to go goose hunting.
Okay.
Which is the first week of January.
Okay.
Because I think we started the 1st of November roughly. So by the first week of January, it should line up pretty well to 8 weeks. And we'll just have a structured deload week every 8 weeks.
You want to do like a daily full body, lower intensity?
I think that'd be good because we could do lower intensity.
We can kind of go back to what we were doing full body and just rotating through.
Plus, if we try and time it so that it lines up with traveling, if we're doing full body while we're traveling, and that's the beauty of full body when you're traveling, because like everything's getting stimulated. So if we try to make it line up so that it's falling on a traveling week, then we can just do full body. We can play around with different equipment at the gyms that we're traveling to, and just give our CNS a little breather.
Yeah, true. I'm going to drive home to northern Minnesota for Christmas for a few days and go back to my home turf gym. I'm kind of excited for that.
What's it called?
Freeb's Fitness and Tanning.
Freeb's Fitness and Tanning. Have you seen that new gym that I told you about?
Which one?
The one that they're building on the main strip here.
Oh, yeah. On the way into Prairie Grove.
It was like, starts with a K. I forget the name of it.
I've seen it.
You haven't gone in it, though?
No.
We should totally go by there and check it out. If they're even open yet.
Especially once we get like some posters and stuff, get some details rocking for the upcoming show, and we'll be able to swing through all the gyms. And
as soon as we know when the show will be.
Still waiting on a date.
Still waiting on a date.
But we've got a lot of interest generated already. There's some people that competed this first year, and they're like, we're coming back for sure. So I think it's just going to grow and grow.
That's the plan. That's the plan. And we found a pretty cool charcuterie board person that's local.
Yes.
So we're going to have like this massive charcuterie board at the competition next year, which would be good.
I should email her.
Yeah, definitely make sure she's planning accordingly.
Yeah.
And we're a long ways out right now.
We're a long ways out. We don't even have a date.
Get on our radar.
But I could just even shoot her a message and say, hey.
All right, let's go film a reel.
Real talk.
Bricks.
All right.
Real talk. Toodaloo, y'all.
Bye.